All right, we are live. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Zach. Oh, Zach is muted. He's just waving his arms at me. For those of you who are not listening in, Zach is waving. And if you are only listening in, I am wondering how.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
I was almost late to this. Very interesting story. The 10-year-old discovered what private property was during a nature walk, which
cool.
The nature walk was just her walking around people's backyards. And she's like, yeah, dog's chasing me. And I'm like, well, where are you? And she showed me. And I'm like, oh, you were in people's yards. She said a stray dog. I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, cool, right?
Yeah, we were out. You know, there's a railroad track and all that stuff. Yep. Funny lesson learned. What's going on, everybody?
Hey, there's only one way to find out, right?
There is only one way to find out. Oh, Pemco Legacy Fishing is here. That's a local guy, by the way. Local guy. Just recently discovered that. I was watching his videos.
Where's he at? I don't see him.
Instagram. He was I saw him fishing some local areas. I'm not going to give up the juice because if you are fishing for smallmouth right now in the rivers, creeks, and streams that are in Columbus and you are catching smallmouth, don't give it up. Because
they are literally. Well, you know what? That's our
topic tonight.
That's one of the topics we have today. Yeah.
What do we do when it doesn't rain for a month and a half and the water goes down fast?
Water.
Yes.
Water.
It's been that way, dude. It's been that way since like July. Actually, it's not even like a month and a half.
Here anyways, we had some decent rain, but no, it's been getting nothing but lower and lower and lower. Last week I fished the Kiski River, and right before I fished it, I was watching a local on YouTube fishing it, and verified with him when he actually filmed, you know. Because I believe it or not, the date of the YouTube film does not mean that that's actually when it happened.
Yeah.
But verified with him, and it was like the beginning of August.
Yeah.
And from his video in August to me, the end of August, it was down 2.5 feet.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I would say.
I drug like I'd say at least a third of the way.
How do I? Oh baby, hold on. So I've got a fun. Baby. Yeah, I've got a little. I've got a little. Oh God, excuse me. The coffee's fighting back.
Ben. Is that?
That is the Ben.
That's the Ben. How you doing, buddy?
That is
nice to see you. You should join us over on YouTube and give us a little 2-tap, like and subscribe.
Speaking of YouTube, new videos up right now.
Todd,
new videos
Michael
up right
Bradley.
now.
Oh yeah, what video is that?
It's called "Fishing is Rigged."
Fishing is rigged.
It's a 3-minute demonstration of the shaky head.
Oh, hey, this is cool. So Cheryl is on Instagram. And she just waved right underneath Ben, who just got the July box. Ben, Where Water Meets Air, a.k.a. Cheryl, she is the one actually responsible for the artwork on that box.
Oh.
Yeah, neat.
Small world.
That was pretty cool.
I'm trying
I need you to take this for a minute, buddy. I'm like the rivers around here.
Hey, we've got a huge announcement to make real quick. I'm going to add it in the banner.
Ta-da!
Wicked Weights. We are now a retailer of no chip tungsten weights, drop shot weights, nail weights, bullet weights, flipping weights. You name it, we got it. darkhorsetackle.com. Search Wicked Weights.
That wicked.
Go get your water. We'll talk about the Wicked Weights.
Yeah, I will.
We got the Wicked Weights.
I'm really excited about the Wicked Weights, people.
Yep, I'm gonna pull it up here on the website while you're gone.
Yeah, it's all going to be under terminal tackle. I'll give it its own category. I just didn't get that far.
Absolutely. You're good. So if You go to the Dark Horse Tackle website. We're going to navigate this together, everybody. Here we go. I'm going to share the screen, and we are going to get into the bait shop. We're going to hit terminal tackle, and we're just going to scroll. We're not going to go by best selling. We're going to go alphabetically Z to A, because we should have our wicked weights up there. Look at that. Wicked Necco weights right there. We're going to hit this. I'm going to take wicked weights. I'm going to copy it. And now I'm going to search for it on darkhorsetackle.com. There we have it. We've got wicked Necco weights, which is a screw lock Necco weight. And what you do with that is your weight, and I wish I had some. But your weight is going to go into the front tip of your worm. You're going to screw that in. It's going to stay there. And the best part about that, because there are times where you want to sink your nail weight in, and there's times where you want to expose your nail weight. Either way, with your nail weight being exposed like that, what you do, what is up, Wicked Wood, by the way, Liminal, Eli, Ryan Parker, as always, Todd, Michael, with that exposed weight, it's not only keeping a better bottom contact as for you as the angler, as far as what you're bumping into, and it makes a little ticking noise when you hit the bottom when you're fishing rocks. The nail weights, you know the nail weights, one of the most versatile weight systems of all time. It goes inside the plastic. You can utilize it in more than just your Necco weight or as a Necco rig. You can utilize nail weights for flipping and pitching. You can utilize nail weights for stability as far as big swim baits go. And we have got the worm weight, the tracer worm weight. We've got the free rig drop shot bait. We call it a free rig style drop shot bait because, as you can see right here.
Can you click on that?
Yeah. As you can see, this right here is a tie end. So if you're fishing it like a drop shot, you just tie it at the bottom of your drop shot.
And
free rig,
I do want to point out why we made the decision. So we could get Wicked Weights, the free rig drop with the drop shot weight in this shape, the teardrop shape, with the pinch end where you don't actually have to tie them. Number one, those do work. However, if you're fishing for smallies, let me tell you right now, a smallie will throw it.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing.
Number two, this one you can use as a drop shot weight or a free rig weight.
Right.
Why buy both?
If you've got that weight so lodged in there, guess what? That weight ain't coming back, whether it's a clip-on or whether it's a tie-on.
Right.
It ain't coming back. It just isn't. I've fished with this specific weight on Lake Erie. Zach's fished with this specific weight out there in St. Lawrence. I've fished clip-ons. I've fished tie-ons. I prefer the tie-on.
Have we said hi to Binya and Brody?
I haven't, because I'm talking about what we've got on the site. Let's sell, baby. We got the mortar bomb flipping weight. This is just a little bit different of a design compared to your quote-unquote worm weight.
Dude, we got monsters.
Yeah, the 1 ounce is a little big. But that is
no, you need it sometimes.
Well, the 1 ounce is relatively inexpensive for a 1 ounce weight. I have seen 1 ounce weights in upwards,
like one of them costing $12.
Yeah.
This you at least get two.
I believe it is a 2-pack. Yeah.
Boom, Brandon Kip.
2-pack.
What's up, buddy?
Tie on all day. I'm glad. Hey, listen, for all those guys saying tie on all day, just go to darkhorsetackle.com and search Wicked Weights. We thank you.
And y'all better hurry up because Ryan Parker already made an order.
Good for him.
He will be sucking the life out of the Wicked Weights. So you guys better get on it.
So we got two things.
Since he just made an order, you want to pop him on here?
Those of you, yeah, after we get through the announcements. Those of you who are on here right now, I implore you,
Robbie K,
3 minutes of your time and watch Fishing is Rigged. Give it a like, comment on it. If you have any ideas of rigging instructions, things you want to see the way that I fish it, the way that I rig it, what I use it on.
Now, what
throw it up in the comments.
What is fishing is rigged?
Fishing is rigged is a rigging video. So
Okay.
I have taken today's installment is the shaky head. How to put it on a shaky head weight, how to put it on a screw lock weight, how to, what the bait is, which if you watch the video, it's a bait from August. It's a perfect pairing from August.
So one could say that this is a compendium to the August video.
I don't know what that word means.
And the box.
It is utilizing baits from the August box that, and because sometimes
it's more information about the book that you find in the back.
Right. So we've got the Mad Mouth Bass shaky head, the football style shaky head, and we've got the Magnum Baits Worms Earth that was featured as a perfect pairing in your August box.
Perfect pairing.
Rig the bait. Show you the combo that I use on said bait. And 9 times out of 10, I'm throwing a bait casting combo with a shaky head. It's very rare that I actually throw spinning gear with a shaky head because there's not much on bait casting gear I can't throw anymore. So spinning gear's got to be real light kind of stuff. But it shows the line, how to use it, where to throw it, when to throw it. Guess what? It's year round. But right now is a really good time. With the water getting shallow, and this is going to be our Ryan Parker intro, with the water getting shallow and the temperature's still, it's up in the 70s and 80s around here in Ohio, 70s out there in Pennsylvania. With it maintaining that higher temperature, bass are still fluctuating that water column. So a shaky head could be your best friend right now. That being said,
I do have one other thing I would like to point out.
Ooh.
So in our box videos, we are going to often talk about ways to rig the baits that will include weights, and we have Wicked weights now. So if you subscribe to the box, and I'm actually doing it right now, if you subscribe to the box, you will immediately get a 10% discount on Wicked weights on the Dark Horse Tackle website. So it's an added benefit for being a subscriber to the box or the pack. You immediately get a 10% discount on Wicked weights. Pretty soon we are going to have a full assortment of BKK hooks on the site, and you will also get 10% off of hooks. Because listen, guys, unless we can fit it in kind of on the sly, which is really hard to do, we would rather not put hooks and weights in the box.
I'd rather sell you baits.
Yeah, we want to give you guys baits. But obviously some of these things, like the thing, we had that in the August box. That's an amazing free rig bait. Just sick. And we're going to tell you about that. And so we want you to be able to at least get a little bit of a discount on that. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog. If you're a subscriber to the box, you get a 10% discount automatically on Wicked weights as soon as I finish it here in about 5 minutes while I'm listening to everybody. That's all I had, Josh.
In about 5 minutes. Oh, thank you, Ryan Parker, for your order. Wow. I'd give up the juice, but I don't want to. He'll do it himself on a video here shortly. And if you buy products from Dark Horse Tackle, we implore and inspire you to make some content out of it. I want to see it. I want to see what you're doing. I want to see what you do with those baits that you buy.
Does this conclude the QVC portion of the program?
It'll never conclude. Dustin Hoy, how are you? Excited
What's
to
up,
see
Dustin?
you tomorrow. Was going to go today, got called in. Not the best time. Anywho.
Oh, I need that picture ASAP. Like, dude, make it the first thing you do when you get there.
Just a picture of me and Dustin hugging.
Something like that. Whatever. Kissing. I don't really care. Go in the corner. Go in the closet. What do they call that game? Something about heaven. I don't know.
Something about heaven.
Just make it good.
The star of our show.
Hey.
Oh my goodness.
What's up, buddy?
Dave Irk has joined before 9 o'clock.
Wow.
The Wolf of Walmart.
I wasn't the only
7
one.
minutes in heaven.
Food pride time.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about
Tonight we're giving away 7 minutes in heaven with the Wolf of Walmart.
You have to get yourself to California though. So
That's right. We're not paying for that.
It is not an all-inclusive trip.
That is not a cheap.
It's not an all-inclusive trip.
We're talking low clear water, I think, tonight.
Yes, we are.
That's our theme of the month, like several months.
Yeah.
Even though
like
Jeff
at
Little
this
like
point-
beat us to it. I think Jeff Little is tapped into Google. He heard us.
Jeff Little is controlled opposition.
I think as it pertains to smallmouth and like low clear water right now, he might be the algorithm. So like if you mention it, it just buzzes in his brain because he's just always plugged into it. No, we are talking low clear water, and we're gonna talk some like stuff that I like am hesitant to give up right now going into this last event, but I think these.
I'll give up something right now. I'll give up something right now. I will give up the juice. Ryan actually yelled at me. Here's the juice. Sit down.
I did yell at him.
They can see you.
Yes.
All caps. All right. See, all caps. Right? Am I doing that right? That's what the kids say. All caps.
Yeah. Sit down. They can see you.
Sit down. They can see you. And you say, but I can cast really far. And I'm like, yeah, but they can see farther. And I can actually share a story about this from the Susquehanna event. The following weekend, they had the Team Kayak Series event, right? And I was talking with Steve Baker. He was kind of giving me, on his drive home, he was giving me we often just talk, and as I do with, all my buddies, like for hours about the recap, right? And he was like, dude, I felt like I stood no chance. And I was like, what do you mean? And if you've been there and you know how those ledge rocks set up, he's like, dude, like I would be on shoal number 1 of 4. And he said on the 4th one, as I started working my way over the first shoal 100 feet away, he said, I would watch the V's in the wakes of those fish spook coming upriver on them, coming up from behind. So if you think that they can't see you, hear you, know that you're there, think about that. Like when it's that low clear there, you can see them leave areas.
I like this because one of my biggest arguments as a fisherman, as a bass fisherman, as a guy fishing for one of the most aggressive apex predators in a freshwater body of water that will eat and eat and eat until it can't digest its food anymore. It's not that they can see your fishing line. They can see you. They know you're there.
Yep.
There is a mechanism in their brain that does know they're being fished for. And that's just a learned behavior. It's not that they're like, oh, what is that line in the water? No, they're like, why is there a 22-foot shadow above me?
Right. It's not that the line this is my personal belief. This is my own experience on the water. It's not that the line scares them in the water. It doesn't. They know it's there. It could be 2-pound fluorocarbon, like the most invisible line ever. They know it's there. Their lateral line is sensitive enough to pick up those vibrations. They know the line is there. When they get spooked from line, it's a lot like trout fishermen with fly rods and stuff. If you line a trout, because fly lines are a lot bigger, bulkier, they slap on the water. So if you line a trout or a bass or whatever, so much of their predators come from overhead. So if there is something out of place overhead of them, whether it's a shadow, your head, your line, a bird, whatever it is, your lure flying over them, and they're spooky, they're out, they're done, they're moving on.
Well, dude, pond fishing, okay? And I just saw on Instagram, one of my favorite TikTok Instagram accounts, Squatch County Fishing, just joined. If you guys don't follow him, he's just really funny river fisherman. But pond fishing, especially if you fish that clearer water. You get about 20 feet away, you start seeing fish go away.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult to fish 20 feet away on the ground, but, they can see you. They know you're there.
There are, and for boat fishermen, kayak guys especially too, the hull of your boat, whether it's a kayak, an aluminum boat, a fiberglass boat, closing lids, knocking things around, that hull amplifies. Yes, walking amplifies all of that noise into the water. If I'm like actually really concerned with catching fish, you probably won't hear me talk a lot during, in low clear water situations.
Well, there's not. Listen, when you're fishing, and if you're like me and you haven't caught a decent fish in, I don't know, all year, there's not much to talk about. So I've been pretty quiet most of my times on the water. Like, it's more or less like, hey, Ryan, I just saw you catch a 20-incher. What are you throwing? And he's like, I'm throwing this. And I'm like, cool, I'm going to tie that on. And then I break it off, and then I don't talk the rest of the day. That's just the way the past couple of months have gone for old Josh.
Just a rough year, huh?
This has been the worst year of fishing I have ever had.
We've all had them. They can't all be high moments or high years.
The weather, the conditions just are not good. Like, it rained today.
Learned some stuff here.
Oh, you showed it. I can't believe you showed it. Look at that.
I'm going to show all sorts of things tonight. Tonight's a little show and tell. And
Liminal said the discount works.
Hey, Liminal. Do you subscribe? You're a subscriber.
He is a subscriber.
Do me a favor. Send me an email to zach@darkhorsetackle.com and let me know like what your actual name is, because I don't know. And I'm gonna with your next order, I'll send you something special.
All right.
I appreciate the help, bub.
Yeah, we're gonna do a little show and tell tonight. I've decided.
All right, that's why you've got the button up on.
I came from my kid's preschool orientation.
Well, that certainly is awkward now, isn't it?
I don't know. He kind of looks like a Boy Scout.
Yeah, he looks like a zookeeper.
There is a design on this.
Where's your sash?
It's really little.
Don't you have a sash?
Where's your sash? I got a big ass bling.
Wow,
that's about the best. Like, I think I can fit an arm through it, and I might get stuck. But
yeah.
I saw Liminal say something about like the like people spook fish in his water all the time, super clear water, and I wanted to touch on that. Like, these fish are where they are for a reason. They want to be there. If you have a lot of other people or careless folks around the water that are scaring the fish, just stay, and you have the patience to stay put for a while. I've learned this from wade fishermen, especially, who can't cover a ton of water. And I've learned it from my own experiences, just wet wading and doing whatever. But like, I kind of refer to it as the Karate Kid thing, right? Like, you want to like become your environment, right? Like,
snake and crane.
Yeah, you just if you can hang in an area long enough, those fish tend to circle back around, and they will literally go sit up if you're still enough, and kind of just become just another piece of their environment. They may.
Don't worry, I still heard every ounce of water entering your esophagus.
Hey, happy Thursday.
There's a mute button. I'm just saying, there's like a
Well, yeah.
slightly
Tell Josh
better way.
that. Tell that to Josh whenever he's hammering his keyboard with those hammers he's got.
That's the way my keyboard sounds. It's a mechanical keyboard. What do you want it to do? It was either this or animal noises when you press the keys.
It's a game.
You've went through like 3 keyboards since I've known you.
Yes.
But yeah,
thanks, Liminal.
Those fish will literally just like, you're welcome, Javi. I'm gonna get to that, and matter of fact, let's just get to that right now since Javi put it up. Talking about the crankbait from the river box, there is a reason I put that crankbait in there, and the biggest reason is because July, August, September, you have some of the lowest, clearest water of the year.
Yeah,
I put a flat side in there because it's more natural.
Yep.
That is one of the biggest things that you can do for yourself in this low, clear water is throw things that are natural. And a flat-sided crankbait it's that tight wobble.
As opposed to like the Evoke style blank that is like like I mean it's really thumping. Like the reason why an Evoke doesn't have rattles is because it thumps so freaking hard it doesn't need them. But then you've got the flat side, which much tighter. Very nice.
Yeah. So that's why that went in that box. It was not just, like, ooh, I like this crankbait, so let's just do this one. No, there was a lot of if you haven't learned by now, there's always a lot of thought that goes into it. I might not articulate it well, but I've had a lot of people like ask me questions of like cranking some like Clearwater lakes in northern Ohio. Like, what do you
keep rattling that ice?
Can't believe you've been cranking that grass. And I'm like, no, you throw flat sides. It's clear water. It's fine. Like, and you can rip those out of the grass instead and you get hammered.
Yeah. Believe it or not, crankbaits do come through real grass astoundingly well.
Real grass.
Yes.
Not snot.
Not snot. Stop.
Snot.
And I will tell you this. Stop calling snot grass and weeds. It is slop, and it is nothing but slop.
Isn't it like algae or something?
It's like
slime.
Slime.
Appropriate.
It is the bottom separating and going up. That's what it is.
There's a lot of things like natural things. We're going to talk about it, and this is show and tell starting now.
Okay.
Here we go. We get the Bastrix minnow. That's
a Gobi 1 Kenobi.
Gobi 1 Kenobi. I know, and their names are fantastic too.
We need to re-up on those. We're almost out.
So I wonder why.
Zach, check your texts like ASAP.
Has somebody been ordering them? Perhaps. Maybe I'll order more.
We're down to I think.
Actually, I didn't order that many. So
no, you didn't. We're down to
and they are
2 colors,
and they are fantastic colors. Like, but things that are more natural. So, and weights that are more like that's why I like the core tackle stuff because it hides in there. Don't sleep on that 2 3/4 inch get bit tube.
Yep,
I've been catching tons and tons of fish on that. A lot
because the squid is king.
It is.
It's when you know where the fish are, like. So Jeff Little just put that. If you've watched it already, he just put that video out about drawing power and just the automatic eat. And I've been like having this conversation with a couple.
Wait, was that today's video or was that the video before?
Couple days, yeah.
Because he talked about it in today's video as well.
It's the thing. So he will refer to these as automatic eats, right?
Right.
But you're not calling fish over with this. This, by the way, is the same core tackle in the Gobi.
Nice.
And I fished that down.
Nice.
On the top. So, and I'll tell you what, like you Great Lakes guys, you northern smallmouth guys, especially anyone with Gobi in your system, 3/32, your heavier core tackle, like hover rig jigs and this goby,
dude,
you're
on the
you're welcome.
streamlined baits, it glides so well with that. Just it glides just way too well. It's a supernatural presentation.
In this low clear water, you don't
also
need drawing power.
Well, sometimes you do, but like to know that they're there, and that's my point. Is like you can always have a bait tied on that. Yeah, they're gonna eat. Say like the weed whacker's a good like they'll get it gets them to show themselves if they're not even eating it that well. But now you know they're there. That's when you follow up with things like this because this is gonna like you get that near them. They don't question it. They just eat it.
Right.
And sometimes you just have to go with that. You know, the third one I have sitting here is this little dude. That's the HH Guppy, 3-inch minnow.
Dude, the Guppy is such a killer. It's such a killer.
On the Deeks roll around.
What do you think?
Killing it on the goby. Or the
what
guppy.
do you think? What do you think about that? What do you think about that roll around?
I like it. It's interesting.
Now, I would like to point something out. You've just showed a couple baits, a couple combinations, a couple perfect pairings. And
we'll put all those up as perfect pairings because they
are all the ones you've shown so far. They are all quote unquote FFS baits.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, are you catching fish on these while looking at your FFS?
No, I'm using my eyeballs and I'm throwing these.
They work without the sonar
and trees.
So you're throwing these in high percentage areas and capitalizing on the high percentage.
Sure am. So
I can't believe they work.
Whether I know a fish is there or not, if I only have to make one or two casts. If I feel like I've hit that rock, I hit that target with, and nothing ate it, I'm moving on. There's nothing there.
Right.
And so this, and for me, I hate slowing down. If I can get away with it, I will not do it. So this is, I've been a lot of this year, I've been exploring, how to make finesse work for me. And it is that power finesse blend. And this is, it is throwing little things like this in high percentage areas.
Yes.
But I'm not sitting there trying to coax out every fish. If there's a fish in their area, it should eat this. If it's not, I'm moving on.
Real quick. Sorry to interrupt. Brandon Kip. Pow. Thanks, bub. Keep moving.
Keep it moving.
What are we going to keep? Oh, all right.
Well, I was going to say, so
man, you threw me
real quick.
I was on a tear.
There's very interesting things that have happened in the fishing industry that have been going on in the industry for years, but the Ned rig has taken the fame of any kind of finesse presentation. There's been finesse tubes. There's been drop shots. There's been tiny little shaky heads. There's been ball head jigs, 1/8 ounce, 360 or 3/32 ounce ball head jigs. Small worms, teeny tiny stuff. But the Ned rig, for whatever reason, the Z-Man turd has taken center stage. And I'm telling you right now, I think the Z-Man turd takes that center stage because that little jig head and that little worm, you can do exactly what you said, Ryan. But the way I like to fish, similarly to you, is I want to throw a hyper-natural bait such as a goby, work it slow, make another cast, work it slow, get out of there. I'm gone. That's how I've always fished. And
I'm not working these slow.
Really? Work it the way.
Screaming them.
Okay.
I will say the goby, I tend to work slow. I work this on the bottom. I like it down there, but that's mostly I'm imitating these darters and stuff. But for the
got it.
I am like quite the opposite. I'm again, and this goes right back to like a fish knows if 2-pound invisible fluorocarbon is right next to them. They don't have to they can feel that, right?
Yep.
That's a 4-inch minnow with a bunch of weight in it, and scream that, Mayim! Like they're they're going to react to that.
I'll bring this back up eventually.
I think there's a time and a place for slow. Don't get me wrong, but like as of late, like this water's still.
I guess what I should say
70
is
degrees. So
I'll let the bait soak in the area that I'm fishing.
Yeah.
Then I'll work it back. I'm not going to work it back the way that I intended to throw it into. If I'm flipping a bush, right? Like you're flipping a bush with a jig with a moving trailer, you're going to swim it back. That's just kind of what I'm doing. Like, do, give it the old Chitwood cha-cha on the way out.
I think that the clear water is like I will soak stuff if the water clarity tells me I need to.
Sure.
Clean water, I downside, and the fish will kind of let you know that too. But a lot of times, that clear water, they gain a big advantage in the fact that they can see.
Yep.
They might not be willing to move very far to eat something, given whatever day in their mood, but they will move enough to react to something. And these little things are so automatic that you go screaming that by one, like they're just, I'm going to eat that and get back behind my rock or behind my tree or whatever. Because
over the years, I've discovered that you can take different soft plastic baits with varying degrees of action and scream them across the top of the water and catch bass. It makes sense that also works.
Yep.
Below the water.
Yep.
We talked about sound a little bit. It's another thing I like about the core tackle weights, and the same reason that I like tubes in low clear water or clear water in general. But like when these fish are already kind of on edge and a little bit spooky, you don't have the clack of the weight bouncing on the rocks or hitting the bottom and stuff. It's all encased in the plastic. So you can get in and out of there. It's a really stealthy, quiet, natural presentation. And like I said, like this time of year, when you have these conditions, like being natural and quiet and stealthy in every aspect of your fishing, including some of the stuff that you throw, is like super key.
You could almost say that fishing slow is not natural. You could almost say it. Because when a bait fish is scared for its life, it doesn't slow down.
Fast.
It goes fast.
Oh, it's getting the hell out of there. Something's going to eat. It's going to eat me.
I mean, I've heard probably Josh Pallades at Clutch say this more than anyone.
Yep.
And he's talking about big baits, but he's like, if you want to get more bites,
go fast.
Stop it. He's like, if you see a follower, speed up. Start getting that thing out of there, because that's what that's what fleeing bait would do. That goes for all of these things. It doesn't matter if it's a giant glide bait or it
translates throughout fishing.
Right.
And what it is it's a giant game of cat and mouse. The cat starts to follow the mouse. Well, if the mouse just stops,
the cat gets bored.
The cat gets bored.
I have found, at least in my own experience with the bigger stuff, if I can really get a fish's attention and hold its attention, if it's a follower, if it follows far enough out of its preferred safe space, that tree, that bush, whatever it is, if it comes far enough out of there, that's a fish that you should be able to get to commit, because the further it goes, the more energy it's expending to keep following it, and it has to go back, right? So I've always felt like, and my experience is if you do start changing the direction or the tempo or the speed, you can get a lot of those fish to commit. It's just I think it's just you've captured their attention, and then all of a sudden, if it starts to try and get away from them, they're like, well, heck, I've come this far, right?
Yep.
I may as well just eat it now.
I went to the grocery store, and the liquor store is right next door. Like, I'm already here.
Yeah. I've caught a lot of fish figurating a jig or a Senko or a drop shot worm. Like, it's always that, like, the one giveaway that tells me, especially when fishing low water, this happens to me most of the time when I'm fishing low water. If I'm fishing too slow, the fish will always let me know because they're always following it back. And then the second I start to reel that thing all the way in, they show themselves. And there's been numerous times on the boat, I'm throwing a bladed jig trying to cover that bottom. And then the second that jig comes off the bottom and goes back to the
when you're done with your cast and you're like, okay, I'm going to burn it back in to make another cast.
Oh,
that's a hilarious.
That's when they want to
just froze.
I know. I can't hold it in.
I know.
You got froze at that.
Like,
I'm so tired of our internet, dude. Like this is probably the 5th night in a row that it's just straight up dropped. So if I just drop out of here and don't come back, that's why.
I'll pick it up. Don't worry.
Every night it kills itself.
Well, that's because everybody's watching Peacemaker.
It's the EMP.
Oh, it's your black cloud.
Yep. It's the EMP.
I would like to talking about the low clear water, and we've already mentioned them. I don't know how many times we've mentioned them. Maybe if we mention them again, it'll just show up. But in Jeff Little's video that he put out today about low clear water, he was talking about
no spoilers. I haven't seen it yet.
Too late. Too bad. He was talking about isolated areas, and I actually experienced this on the Kiski.
You found yourself in an isolated area
when I was fishing, and you would go like I'd be dragging, and you would see like decent spots, but these spots were all in between dragging areas, so nowhere for the fish to go in this super low clear water. They're not gonna be there.
Yep.
Because there's nowhere for them to go. So just because it looks like a good spot and just because it is a good spot doesn't mean they're going to be there.
You're getting to my favorite part.
What I actually discovered is that on one side of the river or the other, and it changed as I moved down the river. One side of the river or the other had like a trench or a ditch or something, and that slightly deeper water held the fish.
That's somewhere to go.
All of the good spots, like if you take all of your eat spots and all of that and you take that into consideration, but you just apply it to the places where they still have somewhere to go,
just that little trench.
Yeah, you're eliminating water like crazy. Like I probably wasted half of my day casting at stuff that just probably hadn't seen a fish in a month and a half, because they're just not going to be there.
Did you notice that those trenches? Did you notice those trenches correlating with certain topographical features, or say an outside bend? Because we all know outside bends tend to have deeper water on them.
Yes. Most times, yes. Sometimes no. Sometimes there's just weird shit.
Sometimes there's just depressions.
Yeah.
So
I will say this though, if there was good eat spots and there was a significant enough depression, there was fish in there. Yeah. And I will also point this out, Ryan. I hope this isn't something that you're trying to keep a secret, but oh my God, in rivers, smallmouth hang out with suckers.
Yeah.
Like they hide. They hide within the suckers.
They look similar.
I told you this.
And a lot of times,
a month ago on the Allegheny.
Yeah, a lot of time.
Right?
Well, like, dude, that's why I noticed it right away. I noticed it right away when I saw it.
And
there would be like
the thing.
There would be like this. Yep. There would be a lot of like, like 2 inches of water, and then there would be like this depression for literally no reason. I have no idea why.
And what else? And what else have we noticed here in the last month of fishing super clear water? We've noticed like 17, 18-inch smallmouth relating to soft shell turtles crawling across the bottom of the river. Like
so
crazy
smallmouth will use other animals as cover.
Yeah.
So here's what we're saying. Actually, more importantly, this is my favorite thing about water going shallow. Okay, I don't fish rivers as much as you guys. I have always been a reservoir, lake, whatever. What happens is the ecosystem is condensing. So the aquatic life, where there is aquatic life, there will be aquatic life. So when you've got chubs, suckers, darters, bluegill, and smallmouth all hanging, you start seeing life, you can start to realize you're probably by some fish. And another thing is for the guys that don't get to fish rivers as much, if the point you were catching fish on was 16 foot deep where you were catching fish last month, and it is now only 12 feet deep, they are still there. They are still at 12 feet. Something had them at 16 feet, and it will be the same something that keeps them at 12 until that water goes up and they go sit in 8 because there's something better to be in. Now, one thing I noticed at the Allegheny last year is exactly what Zach said. I pulled up on a spot where he went left and I went right, and I could not stay in this spot, but oh my God, did I want to, because every sucker and chub I saw, there was a magnum hanging out with it. And what was weird is I would throw my bait and the smallmouth would sit there and wait, and it would watch what the chubs did. And if the chubs didn't move towards the bait, guess what? Neither did the smallmouth. Because the smallmouth, for one, can probably outcompete those fish if it were a bait fish situation. It could probably outswim that fish because they're built like brick shit houses, especially in the Allegheny.
Yeah.
But I had a couple chubs turn their head, and then the smallmouth would turn his head like, oh, is it? Is it time to eat?
Dude, I love it because the smallmouth are just in there with the rest of them going.
They're like kingpins. They're like mob bosses. They're
if they are indeed hanging with the suckers and the carp and stuff like that, the best ones to find, because if you just observe it, because they'll hang with them when they're resting, the best way to find them is find the feeding carp. If you can find a school of carp or suckers that's feeding, you may not see the smallmouth, but I guarantee they're there, and whatever ones are there are all big. I've never seen small smallmouth do this.
How do you find the feeding suckers or carp?
Mud pools.
So they look like this.
Yeah, in real shallow water, sometimes you can see tailing carp.
Yeah,
you'll see their tails literally out of the water.
So we're talking rivers. I'm telling you right now, I have been in lakes, reservoirs, and I watch the carp. Boop, boop, they make noise on the top of the water.
Yeah, like if they're feeding on top. I actually prefer them to be feeding down.
Yes,
they never like I can't catch it. Nothing. Like if I see a carp doing that, I just go somewhere else because nothing else is happening there.
I think head down is a better sign than head up.
If they have to be feeding down,
they got to be pointed to the bank.
And here's why: the smallmouth bass. I have not experienced this with largemouth, but I bet some big largemouth do this too because it's such a specific thing, and it makes sense that some would do this. So the smallmouth are using those carp as I believe as cover, right? They're about the same size. This is why I think only the big fish do it. They're about the same size. So they have built-in cover, a built-in alarm system, because if those carp spook, and they spook easy, they release a pheromone that spooks the whole school, so they know danger's there. Smallmouth go with them. And this is why it's incredibly hard to catch more than one smallmouth out of that school when you find them.
This is very, very, very interesting. So the biggest bass I ever caught, 7 pounds, 8 ounces out of Lake Arthur, was hanging out with a big ass muskie. And so it's very curious to me because it sounds like the same situation almost. Well, like they were hanging together because I caught the muskie, he come off, went right back to the same spot, very next cast, and caught that bass. They were in the same exact spot.
It's an eat spot.
Spot. The community hole.
So the smallmouth are using these carp. It is a literal gravy train for them when they're feeding down, because carp are eating a lot of aquatic invertebrates.
They're disrupting the bottom, getting crayfish to come out.
It's exactly what it is. If you take the time to not fish for them and just observe it, and I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to just watch. This low clear time, it can be tough to fish, but it is one of the best times to learn the behavior of these fish, because you can literally see it.
Oh, dude, absolutely. I stood up at one point because I thought I had a great place to fish, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna knock them out. I stood up. I saw at least 10 smallies just piss right off. And they were not very close either.
So when you actually see, if you sit there and observe them, you'll notice you can't make a cast into that school, because you'll blow it apart. The carp don't like that. They're gone. So what you often have to do is make casts. You have to sit yourself off to the side of this school. And how, like I mentioned, how you find them. When they're feeding down, you look for the mud plumes, because you'll see them. If carp are really foraging on the bottom, it doesn't matter if it's a rocky river. There's something silt coming off that bottom. They're really getting down in there and really stirring it up.
This is very super true, even in reservoirs, because I was on last month. I was on a reservoir, and I figured out the fish were pretty shallow, and I was getting up in there. And any place where I started seeing poof, 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 you start seeing those mud plumes. Poof, 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 poof. I was catching bass. They were there.
Were you seeing them or creating the mud plumes by spooking carp?
No, I was definitely spooking carp and then catching bass very, very nearby.
Okay. I'm talking about the smallmouth that are with the feeding carp. You find the feeding carp by looking for the mud plumes. It's easier than trying to find them in clear water, because the mud trails down the river further than the fish will be. These smallmouth, they just follow the carp. They just sit in this school. And every now and again, if you observe this, you will watch just a black shadow. You've got your mud plume, and all of a sudden you'll see this shadow go out and come back in, go out, come back in, go out, come back in, go up, come back in. Those are the smallmouth. Those aren't the carp. And like I said, there's always more than one in those schools when they're doing this. There's usually 4, 5, 6, depends on the size of the school of carp, but they're all big.
The sucker pat them. You're welcome.
Yeah. It's a thing. And what they're doing is they're waiting for those carp to kick a crayfish out. It's difficult to catch these fish. It's difficult to catch more than one of those bass that are with those carp. Again, I have not necessarily experienced it on a lake, but that's usually because when the water is that shallow, it's not that clear. So I've never been able to observe it. I wouldn't doubt that it happens, though.
Well, it's different than a river system, because river systems are so communal in the sense of it's an interstate, right? It's not a parking. Yeah. The lake is a parking lot. It's not necessarily.
Well, I'll tell you what. When I see this happen the most, it is in the most parking lot places of a river.
Got it.
It is usually in the most dead, stagnant areas, places that you would normally just blow by.
I also
man, there's nothing up there.
I think that a lot of people get on a lake or a reservoir and they immediately take current out of their brain.
There is current. Don't get me wrong.
There's current.
There's always
and
current.
It does set them up. The current could be caused from the incoming water or outgoing water. The current could be caused from the wind. It could be caused. I see it all the time on my favorite lake. When the wind is blowing hard, if you find weeds that create a funnel point,
Yep.
you're always going to catch there.
Hard edges. And a weed line is a hard edge.
I will raise this question with the lake carp pattern is it a viable option when the parking lot is that big?
I see. That's the thing.
And I think maybe that's why I can find it on rivers. Cause when I go through a river, I'm like, my parking lot's a lot smaller.
When your water's down,
it's easier to find my car at a smaller parking lot. That's what I'm getting.
I
just usually find that life begets life. So if there's stuff going on, even if it's in a lake,
it's a food
there's probably other stuff going on.
One of my favorite schooling moments. So Hoover, the lake by my house, was down tremendously. And there's a shelf that starts to show itself when the water goes down that bad. There's a road bed.
About 12 feet.
Right.
About 12 feet.
There's multiple spots, but there's this.
I know what shelf you're talking about, though.
I'm not talking about the one directly across the ramp.
No, I'm talking about the whole shale shelf in every little cove.
Basically, Hoover is a shale shelf, especially by the creek channel. But the creek channel runs up the entirety of the lake, and it moves through the lake, and it does provide current, to Zach's point. But it was a roadbed that kind of curves into the it's a whole thing. Fish started busting, and I'm like, those aren't bass. I'm gonna cast at it anyway. I had a little jerk bait tied on, and first cast, white bass. Cool. Second cast, 17-inch smallmouth on the north end of this lake where smallmouth don't really go. Interesting. We're getting interesting. Then it's a largemouth. Then it's a catfish. And I'm just like, I'm catching catfish, fishing 1 to 2 feet of water with a jerk bait.
It's interesting that you bring this up.
There's fish there eating. And like Ryan said, with fear pheromones, there are also, hey guys, we're eating pheromones. So if anything is nearby and it senses that something's eating, they're like, it's time to eat, dude. Those bait fish have either shown themselves in a way that freaked those predators out to the point where they're like, wait a minute, that's not a big wall that's scary now. Because that is why you will see schools of bait fish, but they will not be getting eaten. It's because it looks big and scary. But they've either gone too far down or they have separated themselves out too much to the point where they became the bait and they became the food and everything came at them. And it was very interesting.
We're also, speaking of this multi-species, in one area type thing, we are really, really low and clear is one of those times. The fall is also another one of those times. So we're kind of like these things are merging right now. Low clear, it gets that way because of the condensed environment, right? And this is especially true with rivers. The fall, it gets that way because all of the fish have to do the same thing, and that is eat. And there are better places to do that than others. So if you are catching other species, change your presentation up a little bit, but stick around that area because the bass are there too. You just have to figure out how to catch them and how to target them a little bit better. Because that's, and that is one thing about these really small natural presentations is they will catch everything that swims. So you have to, but like if you saw the video I posted today, I was throwing a bladed jig with a big trailer. What's the first fish I catch out of there? The muskie, right? But then, all right, muskie's out of the way. I threw back in there and caught 4, quality smallmouth.
Well, you could have hooked a smallmouth and had the muskie eat it. Dummy. Sure. That's 2 for 1.
Yeah, well,
2 birds stoned at once.
I wanted to see that 16, 17-inch smallmouth grow a little bit. So I decided to hook because I have a choice. And I decided that I would hook the muskie first.
Conservationist.
But back to my experience with the biggest bass I ever caught. Big predators hang out with big predators.
Yes, they do. And it's, again, predators and bait will coexist. Bass will hang around fingerling bluegill until That fingerling bluegill decides to go, I'm scared. And then he goes, really? He's already eaten. The second that bait fish goes, I'm a little scared, won't eaten. And the best way to watch that happen is take yourself a mosquito hook. If you've got a pond by your house with bluegill and bass coexisting, try catching the smaller bluegill. Catch a bigger bluegill. See what happens. Catch a smaller bass. Catch a bass that can fit in bass's mouth.
Do you remember when we were filming the 2023 May video? And
yes.
and you caught that smaller bass.
I caught that small bass, and that big bass was trying so hard.
Like you kept that thing on the hook for like 3 minutes.
Back, and he lived a long life.
It's the you get the competitive feeding a lot this time of year more than any other time. I feel like too, as the fall rolls around. Like
that's why you catch those doubles.
I took my son downtown, and I was like, maybe we can get into some of the white bass or crappie or something that kind of still roam this part of the river, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, or maybe we just happen upon one of those wolf packs of smallies that should be starting to happen around now. And we never did find the smaller fish, but we found a wolf pack of smallies. And so I caught one. It had five more that were about 18 inches with it, and another handful that were like 16, 17. They all came up. And I'm trying my damnedest to like keep this thing hooked, and I'm like using my little my 5-year-old's kid caster.
Yeah,
with like the 3-to-1 speed reel.
Yeah, we've got the Snoopy pull out with a lipless crankbait,
and they kept nosing down and looking at it, but they wouldn't eat it and whatever. And I was like, all right, forget this. I have to just get this fish in at this point. And it was like an 18. I was just letting it peel, drag, and run around, but those fish just kept falling around and just trying to take that thing. But this kind of circles us back around to where we started, and just staying put in an area.
Yeah.
That wolf pack of smallmouth, school of smallmouth, wanted to be in that area for a reason. Now, I just shook them all up by doing that for as long as I did, and then throwing other baits at it. And the first one I hooked, if you look at my Instagram, go back a couple days, there is one of me just whipping the bait on the water like 3 or 4 times. It's because they chased it up. He tried to eat it. I saw how many were with it, and I just started slapping it on the water. He ate it on one of those slaps.
Yeah.
One of them tried every single time. And but we hunkered down in that spot because I figured out why they were where they were, and I dropped the anchor. I set it up right there, and I'm like, give my kid's rod back to him. I put a little HH guppy on, because that's just what we were catching them on. And he makes a cast, and he's like, it's 5. He loses interest before the thing, before he even clicks the reel over. So he forgot. And it sinks down to the bottom, and I was like, hey, you got to reel your slack up, buddy. And he reels all his slack up, and his line's just going.
Oh.
And I go, pretty sure you have a fish. He goes, I don't feel anything. And just about the time he says that, he keeps reeling. And I go, just jerk on it. And he jerks on it, and his line just races, takes off. And it was easily 18, probably better. Jumps out of the water, and I see that little guppy just go flying. And I go, oh, buddy, you just lost a giant. And he's 5, so he doesn't know, so he's like just laughing. He's like, oh my God, it just jumped so high.
Yeah, good.
Whatever
good,
makes another cast.
Yeah, when I say
there, Smalley. Good jump.
When I say, oh, buddy, you missed a giant, my friends get mad at me, and they say I'm bad luck.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe you should sit on a little pad between my legs in my kayak, and I would
love that, Ryan.
Talk trash on you so much.
There's something about my very, very good friend Josh Chitwood and business partner, and him saying, "Oh my God, it's a big one."
I go, "Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one."
It'll waller, and then my rod goes,
and then it's dude. The fish, I'm serious. Like We tested
How
the
many
theory,
times?
too.
How many times, bro?
No, it was a singular day, and it might have been the worst day that both of us had on Lake Arthur. Even though we hooked a lot of fish, we caught maybe 2.
Right.
And
Escape artists.
like Zach would I'd hear the bite and I'd be like, oh, that sounds like a good one, and then I'd see his frog coming back. But the one that I did get to watch damn near the entirety of the whole fight. That
was 5 or 6 pounds.
At least. Like it was a fat 20+ inch fish, and it just came up
wallering.
And just like I was like, oh damn, that's a big fish, and it goes like this, and then
you can hear it. You can hear it in the freaking video too.
Yep. You can.
Oh Lord. Hey, I would actually, given that we're also on a big announcement with the Wicked Weights drop on the site. I have something that I would like each of you to speak about, and we have weights in a lot of these new styles of weights that we have. The drop shot free rig, the worm weights, and the mortar bombs, the flipping weights that go. Some of them go all the way up to 1 ounce. Now, a lot of guys are kind of, I think they're kind of frightened by these bigger weights. I would like both of you boys to say, why do you use such a heavy weight? What's the purpose? I don't care who goes first.
To get it where I want it, to get it through the crap. So I fish stick worms a lot. The biggest I'll go up on a stick worm's a 1/2 ounce, because anything more than a 1/2 ounce, unless you're flipping mats, which I don't get mats up here, dude. I live in Ohio. Most of the water I fish, where it is scummy, you're not really fishing it. Like if it's scum, you just kind of stay away from it. Now we're talking weeds, whatever. But I fish a lot of wood. And if it's wood that is like this, 3/6 of an ounce is not going to get it there unless I sit there and give it the old Alabama shake. I don't want to. Not on the first. If I'm pitching it into a specific hole that I want to hit, I want that bait to sink down fast, hit that piece of structure, roll off, keep sinking. So 1/2 ounce is probably the biggest I'll go on a heavier weight. And what I'm aiming for is pure reaction. I want that bait bit on the fall, because I'm going to worm it. I'm not going to shake that stick worm through wood. I'm going to worm it up. There it goes. Warm it back up through those sticks. Down it goes. Up and down very fast, because there could be one sitting right here, and that thing goes past his face. He's nosing down on it and eating it because he's in a safe position. He's in his home. And a French fry just came up to his nose like this, and he's like, oh, shoot, wait a minute. I'll eat it. I'm good. I do it for reaction. Now, Lake Arthur, 1/2 ounce and above. And that's because you are flipping somewhat of a matted situation. You've got
there's mats.
You've got 2 to 3 different types of vegetation that will grow up and flatten out. Now, when you've got a situation like that where it's not just a drapery, it's a grow up and flatten out, and then you've got stuff sprinkled in, right? And then you've got the patches of the roots of vines.
You gotta get into the caverns, buddy.
Exactly. You've got this patchwork of vines that are even worse than sticks. I'll go up to 1/2 ounce, 3/4 of an ounce minimum. What's up, Pete? Minimum. And I am throwing somewhat of a creature bait. So the weight, boom, punch through that crap. And my bait's just going down. I still want there to be aerodynamics, but I want that bait to work on the way down, because I am banking on that reaction strike on the fall. A lot of your fish, when they're in those mats, the level of the water just depends on where they're at. They could be anywhere. They could be in the first 6 inches of the water. They could be at the bottom of it. They could be in the middle of it.
Yeah, that's kind of like a fish mood kind of thing,
right?
Whether they're hanging at the top of the mat or they're hanging at the bottom of the mat,
right? So a lot of times, if
Yeah, and you kind of, that's one of those situations where you got to listen to what the fish are telling you.
Yep.
If you come through the mat and you know that your bait has hit the bottom and that's where you're getting bit, well, obviously they're not hanging towards the top. But if that's not working, a lot of times what you want to do is keep.
Yep.
After you get through the mat, keep bringing it up.
Just keep it in the same spot
and tapping the top of the mat.
Yep.
From reverse.
I know why Ryan throws a heavy weight, and this is why I didn't say anything about it. So Ryan, you go ahead.
Well, one, I want to, like we talked about burning these little things. It's you said it. It's a reaction. Right now, this clear water, like kind of low clear water, is a really good time to flip a 1 ounce, 2 ounce, 1 1/4. The higher you go in weight, though, you are adding leverage on the fish's behalf. So remember that.
Yeah, but only use what you need to use.
Yeah, I grew up on I kind of grew up on a lake that's 6 foot deep for the most part. And, after getting pummeled month after month by, a bass tournament every single day of the week, that lake gets super pressured. And I learned from some of the old timers up there, like, when a lot of guys were downsizing, the guys that were really at the top of the leaderboard or at the end of those tournaments, I learned from them. They were flipping 1 ounce weights in like 3 feet of water. I was like, in my kid brain, I was like, why? Why? It's not like you're getting. This is back before it matted up. Right. You had lily just sparse, not even they were heavy lily pads, but you could get it down through the holes. And that's all that was there.
The vegetation there now is
it's unreal.
Come on, it's insane.
Yeah,
that's actually Zach. Before I met you, that's where I learned to fish lanes.
Yeah,
yep. Boy,
dude, I've never. My lake,
an important thing.
You've seen it, Josh. My lake is weird. There literally are lanes.
Yes.
I've never seen anything like it. The vegetation grows in like it.
You told me about this.
At one point, it's matted up, and everything's kind of like mashed together. Like but then as it comes out, there's literally lanes.
Yep.
Of stuff, and in between the lanes, it goes from topped out lily pad vine / stuff, and then it works its way down. To just some subsurface grass, and then it's so weird, dude. It's like grid work.
Yep.
Rivers, you do end up with mats, especially rivers with grass, or we're about to get into that time of year.
Wild celery, not eelgrass.
Yep, it's wild celery.
Oh, screw the leaves, man. Don't.
The leaves are going to start piling on your laydowns, and that becomes a big time to
happens on lakes too.
Heavy weights out too.
Screw the leaves.
I'm going to be trying something at the Allegheny that I haven't tried before, but I think it's going to work.
Is there anything worse than the cottonwood though?
No.
I never saw cottonwood until I went over and fished where Josh lives. It's so bad.
I fish
for our
Instagram, my existence.
For our Instagram followers, we have exceeded our time on Instagram. Thank you for watching. If you're a cool kid, you're still here with us on YouTube.
Yeah, it just keeps telling me something went wrong.
Yeah, I have some other stuff that I'm not going to divulge yet because
that's cool.
Experimenting with it, and I also think that it.
So there's something I actually
give it away something, but
I wanted to talk to you guys about next Thursday.
I will talk about it
next Thursday. All of us here will be in Franklin, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if there is good Wi-Fi, if we can actually do this, then we'll see you then. If not, if you don't hear from us, yeah, we won't be there. And
We're busy.
We're busy, but you'll hear about it all the week after. So hopefully there's good Wi-Fi. Hopefully we can get something going and talk to you guys. But Kayak Adventure Series Broodstock number 2, happening in Franklin, Pennsylvania, just about 2 hours north of Pittsburgh, is going down. You do not need to have fished the whole tournament trail to be part of Broodstock the championship. You can just get right on in. and come have a great time. You can fish for the micro bag. You can fish the team tournament. You can fish the single event tournament. Lots of ways to win. Lots of ways to make money. Well, lots of ways to donate too, I suppose. But
I exposed I exposed my technique I'll be using in the chat.
I see.
And the only reason I'm thinking that is because, well, I threw that swim bait last year, and I died by that sword.
Well, if I need to go back and look at the date that we were fishing the Allegheny last year, Josh, you and me, and if anything, fall has come quicker than it did last year.
It will be cold.
I'm not worried about the cold. What I'm worried about is I think damn near half to 3/4 of that wild celery is going to be let go and just coming on down the river.
Oh, if it's open water, dude.
So if you think you're gonna throw exposed hooks,
dude, we haven't been able to throw exposed hooks since the end of July.
Yeah,
it's only getting.
It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild.
Yep.
I'm excited for it though.
No, it's gonna be good. Like when you and I went, as soon as we kind of figured it out, man, we were on them. Like we were on them, and it was good. It was good. They were munching up, and with what has happened here in Pennsylvania, in Western Pennsylvania, with the temperature, and fall is here.
Yep,
it's here. That's it. I thought maybe it was a fluke, but we're on like what, week number 3?
The worst thing,
not a fluke
thing, is the way the sun feels. And if you think the sun feels weird on you, imagine how it feels for the fish. That sun we have had up until today, it has been a fisherman's worst nightmare. Bluebird skies in 75 degrees, high pressure, wind coming out of the north. Good luck. I implore you to tell me worse conditions other than extreme weather. Because I would rather fish in November, December, and January.
Good news
I don't know.
I
did pretty good during a hurricane once.
Good news is
great during hurricanes.
Current.
That's extreme weather.
Yeah. Current Trump's weather.
It does.
I will.
And when there isn't any.
I will say this time of year, though, when the water starts, our rivers here in central Ohio have dipped below 70 degrees and have been steadily holding below 70 degrees.
Yeah.
These fish don't care what color the sky is right
now. Nope.
Do
Time to
care.
eat. Time to eat. Winter's coming.
Winter is coming. It is.
Next week will be a fun episode. Hopefully coming to you from Pennsylvania. But if you like, I think the week after, right? Because like, okay, it's all over. There are no more. we're not all sitting on the thing that we think's gonna win. And
it's gonna be cool. And now that we're on Thursday, and I can't Thursday. Thursday. I can't promise this, but there's going to be a bunch of our friends that are going to be there, and maybe we can get some guest appearances. It might be cool to have everybody pop in.
So it could potentially be a gigantic shit show.
It could. Well, Josh, you know, if I can make it a gigantic shit show, I'm gonna make it a gigantic shit show.
I highly suggest you do not. Actually. Jedi mind tricks. Hey, Zach, make it a gigantic shit show. Make it as embarrassing as possible.
Josh, that sounds like a great idea. I love it.
Not the way this is supposed to work.
We'll see.
There's other people that think you should do that too. Everybody wants you to do this.
You're squinting your eyes. It's making
I'm trying to work here.
Anyways, we're at 20 after the hour.
Yeah.
9 Eastern Standard Time. By the way, somebody brought up the candy apple.
Yeah, we had a whole conversation about it.
Yeah,
Hobby did.
And I believe Stoneman was responsible for that pattern.
Stoneman was responsible.
He was responsible
fantastic.
for all those great patterns.
But just to circle back around, guys, Dark Horse Tackle, you can now get the weights
Tungsten
you need.
weights.
The tungsten weights you need for your, rigging pleasure.
It is pretty much
buy them before I do.
All the like most of the weights that I use are on the site now.
Yeah, we tried to condense it down because listen, there's a lot of weights out there, and I don't think you need all of them.
No.
I think the selection that we brought into Dark Horse Tackle is the base of what you need, and I know that Josh and Ryan both have been putting videos out lately with techniques like free rigging and putting nail weights into baits.
Put nail weights in more baits than just your Neko rig, please.
Right.
Listen to me.
Put them in this thing.
Like, be sneaky with them. But they've been talking about these techniques, and we haven't been able to offer that solution to you, that consumer solution to you. And now we can. They are there. And I would just like to reiterate, if you are a subscriber to the Dark Horse Tackle box or the Dark Horse Tackle pack, you get 10% off just because you are. You don't have to enter a code. You don't have to do anything. If you are an active subscriber, the code will just pop up and you'll save money. It'll show up in checkout. Obviously, you won't see it right there on the product card, but when you go to checkout, you'll see it and it'll say subscriber discount. You are welcome.
I will be making a video on Friday discussing my favorite way to throw swim baits not on a jig head. And it will include wicked weights. And
nice.
I might even make a fishing is rigged video out of this. Take the extra time and do 2 videos. It's hard.
You can do it.
It's hard to take
something else. One of the baits from August, the bait maker just got a hold of me today and sent me a new version of one of the baits from August, and we're super excited about it. And you will be seeing it. You will be seeing it. So it's one of the biggest, craziest baits in the August box. But he hit it with a shrink ray.
Pete, I also had that problem, and what I ended up having to do is I took my bluegrass bug, I took it off the hook, and I took my nail weight and I went in 1/8 inch, out 1/8 inch.
I'm gonna go ahead and just say this now that it's been in this last box. The Scamper Rig hook does wonders for that on the bluegrass bug, because now your weight can't fly out because it's on the hook.
Oh, look at you! Dude, I never even thought of it.
And it's elongated in the body. It sits right where you want it.
Which, by the way, I got to add that Scamper Rig to the site really quick because we do actually have Scamper Rigs. The Scamper Rigs that you guys got in the boxes are a 2/0 hook, and we actually do have Scamper Rigs with 4/0 hooks that will be on the bait shop once I put them on, so they are also available for bigger presentations.
Closing notes? Anything else?
I got nothing.
I'm good.
I've got the assistant to the social media manager informing me of the sites that we are and are not live on.
Which one?
The Instagram actually dead. No, it got disconnected. It was not because of StreamYard.
No, there's you're only allowed on there for a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
I don't know. Limit. Oh, if there's a time limit, there's a time limit. But when I last checked Instagram, my internet was EMPing me. And thank you, Todd. And thank you all for joining in.
Yeah. Hopefully, guys, we can see you next week. We will let you know. We will. Josh, you'll let them know.
We'll have a story post up. But for all the guys here, I'm sure you look at the stories. There's no way you guys only tune in to the freaking lives. I see the people who join in. You guys are usually pretty active, so just pay attention to the stories.
We'll let you know.
Yep. We'll absolutely let you know.
Cool.
See you next Thursday.
Thank you, Josh.
Fishing free.